With relentless temerity, I express solidarity. I have the emphasis and clarity. I'm an innovator, not an instigator. I'm a nature liberator against any discriminator. And I've been more than just a demonstrator. I pioneer being medicinal and high for years. So polarized and divine and revered. I'll also despise and fear for being a broke rock star, just wise and weird. Not to digress from the point. Spoke up pregnant, second generation joint. I believe in anarcho-primitivism. I support brave cave women. Under spell that they doubt left, that property is theft. I'm about to get improper and incorrect. I recollect an era when I had already rejected propaganda. I'm ahead of my time, I'm doing essential to the fire. I'm well read like many greats. I initiate resistance to state. Sedition will obliterate, goes to pillage and hate. I'll be correct like a.k.a. I'm the best, just wait. I'm condemning Bill Gates, I'm rebelling against states. I've tested many presidents and presidential candidates. The heads of states segregate, and they spread pestilence and hate. They fester and decay. I dig the great from dead every day, for it was extra heady this way. Even in decrepit, irreverent, desperate state of dismay, in an irrelevant haze. The apologist arguments they brought in were all straw men, prompting the protagonist's bombardment of arrows shot at lawmen. I'm a freak roaming the streets singing caudation dantation, without providing any translation or even an explanation. Big flat feet stomp upon the agents of civilization. I do the best I can to lend a helping hand whenever I can. Arcane, I question how long I'll remain before heading back to Summerland. I'll walk up the stairs that used to be there. Maybe somebody will deduce enough to care. I'll walk through walls like they haven't been built yet, inexplicably as chill as can get. Authorities worldwide are horrified, mortified, I transmogrified rebellion while they hide, fortified. 'Tis more than revolution or insurrection, defying dystopia so disastrous. Recline on a throne and pass around a bone and laugh right back at those who laugh at us. Set fire out to inexplicable dimensions of realms again, and spotted hyenas' dens, under dissociative anesthesia in the fens, feeling the frequencies applicable when chakras are cleansed. Scandalous manuscripts were found where they were alleged terrorists in the well-kept depths of the underground. I refer to the purr as an ambient sound while tearing down civilizations as I awaken to break through. I condemn the civilized disregard for innocent lives. Troglodyte rebel with spears and bows and arrows and obsidian knives. A pterodactyloid from an extragalactic planetoid had enjoyed elaborate escapades devoid of dystopian disasters to avoid. Anthropomorphic arthropods depicted with ambiguous proportions vaguely stylized. Paleo-archaeologists knew about the antlers on the gods who utilized fruit for youth to revitalize. Ingenuity, continuity, congruity, acuity, facing scrutiny, raising mutiny, lucidly like a true gypsy. Kedrick the head trip, psychedelic epic, runic divination, therapeutic herb, mushrooms and roots. Induce this, intuitively influenced. Aesthetics of music, elusive, conducive to commemorative penmanship that's consecutive. Immaculate Om chant, astrological, philosophical like Immanuel Kant. Primordial, clairvoyant, I'm cognizant and benevolent. Embrace this and go scavenging with javelins. Shape shift into a makeshift spaceship. Traveling, rambling on to the Amazon's pantheon with a feral, amiable animals and egalitarian heroines are jamming on Grateful Dead songs and recording electronic voice phenomenon. Classic, empathic, ecstatic, eclectic, eccentric, syncretic, authentic, poetic, aesthetic, telekinetic, telepathic. Sympathetic magic has conjured some pure ectoplasmic entity in this dead, heady tent city with its psychedelic hippies. Speak of equality and equity, we don't pray, we merely say blessed be, especially at the medicinal weed dispensary. We are defending peace with empathy, this be spiritual ecstasy. Everyone oppressed, every refugee gets our sympathy. Wizardry is giving me an epiphany apolitically. I exist to be instantly primitive and at peace. There has to be resistance to be free. Ingenuity, continuity, congruity, acuity, facing scrutiny, raising mutiny, lucidly like a true gypsy.
Cacti, Pterosaur, psychedelia. We don't participate in mass hysteria. Linguistic mystics, intrinsic to the land. Liberation, defying indoctrination of Uncle Sam. Crystals charge off our powers from the earth. Anything malevolent, we are the reverse. Brainwashed since birth, now we return to godliness. It's obvious, we're the hottest clique. That's common sense. No crystal ball, I don't practice Santeria. We study esotericism and Bhagavad Gita. We defeat feeling for marches, militant wicked coven. Those who oppose get bludgeoned by the dozens.
I'll desecrate the graves of anyone who tries selling me slaves. I'm a local legend who aspires to dwell in the caves. I've empathized even better at raves. Kedrick the head trip, tie-dyed panther, or non-romancer. Vaguely hippied out, tripped out reaction to disaster. Going after certain sketchy characters due to questions yet unanswered. I got invaded in an extra directly disrespectful manner. If I had paid any mind to what was kept in style, I wouldn't have felt obliged to get drenched in reptile bile. Society alarmingly underwhelmed on a vessel on fire, drunk at the helm. To my egalitarian heroines who are apparently elsewhere, I'm in despair while I dwell here in my dark lair. Society is unfair, I'm obliged to dare to care. Y'all ought to embark on a trip with me. If y'all can bear the dark, y'all ought to visit me to at least reduce my misery. I'm inexplicably the epitome of an epiphany. Y'all could not have possibly bought a better psychonaut. I'm outlandishly cannibalizing presidents. I'm stabbed with amethyst arrowhead pendants. My aura is pure due to the aroma of sensimilla. I conjure ghosts of cave women to practice spectrophilia. I can get paradoxically serious on hypnotics and deliriums. A symbolic symbiotic experience. We're the earth liberators who resist invaders with our widowmakers. I'm a dead-heady raver with the charm on hemp, calling for armed self-defense, because counter-militancy is necessary and psychedelic therapy. I'm for the post-left anarchy and the free love and polyamory. When there's wars to resist, we resort to this that mostly consists of rhymes by an anarcho-primitivist. We should return to our origins as nomads foraging with no war to bring. Now we overthrow kings. Hemp holds these rose-quartz beads. As my comrades and I protest in the streets. We're rebels opposed to all regimes. Kedrick the head trip. Cacti Pterosaur. So many protests, everyone is oppressed. Nobody has freedom at anyone else's expense. I must insist that civilization must cease to exist. I'm an anarcho-primitivist. We must resist empire and its many clients. They're all tyrants. My Xerxes-esque verses will burn down churches to murder perjurous neoconservatives for the disservice. They deserve it. Perdue correctly said, property is theft and influenced by Kunin. We need much more than a revolution. Progress is a myth. Technology inflicts pollution upon earth as persecution. Hence what Edward Abbey said was the industrial way of death. Civilization is self-destructive and meant to oppress. When ignoring the facts, some have resorted to an ad hominem, i.e. a personal attack. The appeal to hypocrisy is obviously a logical fallacy. To blame us for using technology will end civilization's clutches, as if blaming a cripple for using crutches. Anarcho-primitivism is what I believe in. There can't be freedom where there is authority, hierarchy, and other crimes of the civilized. I support nomadic forager tribes. I call for liberation, so abolish civilization. Authority and hierarchy have divided us and lied to us. We have been told that our rights were recognized and wouldn't be denied.
Empire has tried to deprive us of our skills that we needed to survive. The low lives who hide behind a badge fabricate crimes to meet their quotas. They patrol us and enforce their war upon us. Empire and its apartheid has to end, and we need not let it slide ever again. We can easily resist them, and we will win. We outnumber and outwit the oppressors. We can do much more than merely demonstrate against them. They intend to arrest anyone who protests them, but we don't have to let them. If we had all been killed, then there'd be nobody to oppress when there's none of us left. I told them I won't tolerate the laws and hate they have caused for so many years. I made myself clear they didn't hear because they had lard in their ears. Yet we are precisely what their empire should fear. Much like the Irish volunteers, we are undefeated. Those who profit from apartheid have repeated their lies, but that doesn't make them come true. We must liberate the earth, as that's what we are obligated to do. I call for liberation, so abolish civilization.